Hey everyone, I wanted to get this opportunity. I'm doing a road trip right now, and I think this is the perfect opportunity to probably talk about, how it's been having an LM2 GMC Sierra. What's been good, what's been bad, what issues have I had. It looks like a lot of you guys are interested in what a longer term review of the truck would be. A lot of people are new diesel buyers or looking into getting to one of these trucks, even though the new ones are a little bit different. So let's talk about a few things. So first, I want to talk about issues that I've had with the truck that I've had to take back to the dealer for. So the truck, almost immediately after purchasing, had a really weird clunking sound from the steering wheel. That ended up being a little plastic bearing that's in the intermediate shaft that goes right through the firewall, where the column goes through the firewall. So that started happening right about at 100 miles of owning the truck. I bought this truck brand new in December of 2020. The model year of my truck is a 21. So that was the first issue. It was in and out of the dealership, and one day they knew immediately what it was. So that one was done. The next issue that I had, and I already made a video on this, was the infamous leaf spring clunk. I have a video that names the TSB that was also taken care of by the dealership, and that started happening probably around 5,000 to 7,000 miles, but it was an easy fix, so not a problem. Never had a no start, no crank. I know it's a common problem on these trucks, but knock on wood, 37,000 miles right now, and never had an issue with that, so really happy about that. And then the final issue that this vehicle had was the rear window leak. Also, another very common issue on GMC Sierras and Silverados. They took care of that. They ended up diagnosing it a couple times, and they did try a couple things. First, they tried some washers for the spoiler. They thought it was leaking through the body and through the wing. That wasn't the case, and then they ended up replacing the rear window, the whole assembly, and that seems to fix it. Talking to the guy in the dealership, they say that these trucks have a problem when from the factory they seem to not have enough sealant in one area. So that pretty much wraps up all the issues that I've had with the truck. Now let's talk about complaints. I really don't have many complaints on this truck. This truck has been pretty solid so far. I will say one complaint about this truck is that fuel gauge is so fucking inaccurate. I don't know why, but for like the first 150 miles, it's inaccurate. And I'll update you guys by the end of this video, and you'll see it. We'll be driving for miles and miles and miles, and the fuel gauge will either not the fuel gauge, the fuel range will not move. Sometimes it just goes up for the first 100 miles. This truck seems to be getting high 500s in fuel range when I fill up the tank, but it always says 450, 440, 470, and then it just doesn't move for the first 100 and so miles. Not a big deal. It actually did go down there a bit, but it's been like that for probably the last 20 to 30 miles. So that's not a big deal. Let's see. Exhaust, man. Me being an automotive enthusiast, every single car that I've had, including my diesel trucks, have been either straight piped, had nice exhaust, or something like that. It's just a real shame that these trucks are so quiet. There's nothing you can do. Maybe in the future with some deletes, these trucks, I will start hearing some nice exhaust tones from them. That may be an option for a lot of people. So we'll see what happens there, but I really miss having an exhaust tone. Other complaint, I guess this would probably be my biggest gripe with this truck, is from the factory. I thought, this being, a GMC Sierra, fully loaded, your high 60s, $70,000 truck. I thought it was going to come with a good off-road suspension. It's advertised as being like an off-road truck. I thought, we're going to have a good suspension that I was going to be happy for a while with. And man, those retro shocks were extremely disappointing. I think they felt pretty good for a while, but they just started, I think after 10,000 miles, they started degrading pretty fast. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're just, poor or cheap quality. I know that their reputation is pretty bad, but they definitely were not great for me. The truck seemed to have been bottoming out easily when off-roading. Anytime you try to off-road with some speed, the truck was just terrible off-road. If you were doing at really slow speed, everything was okay, but yeah, so is most suspensions, I guess. I'll show you there. We've been driving for miles and range is still the same. But what's been great about this truck, actually the engine. This engine has been super fuel efficient. I get about 23 miles a gallon on the highway, and I'll show you my speedometer is not 100% correct. So it says 75 there. It will say 78 there on Waze. And of course, range doesn't move. It'll be like that for tens of miles. So the engine's absolutely great. I love the engine. No complaints from it other than the lack of noise. I would definitely buy another one. In my opinion, I think the LM2 is the engine to have. My DEF consumption is quite low compared to most of what I'm hearing from the LZ0 trucks. I use about a tank of DEF every 67,000 miles. So I can go a whole oil change interval without adding DEF to the truck. Now, me personally, I prefer to wait till it gets to the halfway mark, and I'll just throw in a 2.5 gallon jug. So that's about every 3,000 or 3,500 miles I'm adding a jug of DEF. Again, something that hopefully with tuning here, with some off-road tuning, hopefully a lot of us can eliminate the whole DEF system, but we'll see what happens with that. And if anybody does do that, please don't self-snitch on yourself. Be careful what you do online, what's posted. You never know who's looking at all those posts. So I would definitely recommend be careful on your wording if you are doing anything like that. So the engine's great. The cabin's pretty quiet. I know people don't like the older interior, but I like the interior. See, still 470. We're chugging along here. It's been miles and it won't move. So yeah, I mean, not the interior is comfortable to me. I know a lot of people do complain about the seats being hard. I love the seats. I travel in this truck all the time. I do business trips to South Florida. I do business trips to North Florida. I've done road trips on vacations with the family to Tennessee. I love traveling in the truck. I find it extremely comfortable. I do think that the suspension does add quite a bit of comfort. Also, the correct tires, having 17-inch wheels with 35-inch tires does make the ride more plush. This truck did have a lot of body roll from the factory, again, with the Rancho shocks. It was just absolute garbage. Now, with the new suspension, I did add the Sumo springs as well. I think that does help a little bit with body roll. The truck feels a lot more composed. I do want to try to combine the Roadmaster active suspension later on with my current suspension setup. And the reason that I want to do that is not really as to add more leaf spring capacity and to eliminate any type of squat. It's more to make it act as a traction bar, which you can get a traction bar for these trucks from BDS, but I also want to keep the clearance as much as possible. And sometimes those traction bars do eliminate clearance, and they also can create some stiffness out of the back, where I think the Roadmaster active suspension is probably going to be a better choice for me for that. These trucks do have a lot of torque, and they do suffer from quite a bit of wheel hop, or at least more wheel hop than what I would like to have. And I think with tuning coming up, that is something I definitely want to invest in. So one of the things that's been a horrible pain waiting for is tuning. Now at this date, tuning just started coming up. Run VSC did come out with some tuning. They're the first ones. I already hear some of the Canadian places are offering deletes, so please be careful with what you do and what you advertise in regards to that. PPEI is going to be coming with tuning here real soon, so that's probably the company that I'm going to wait for to get my tuning from. They have the best reputation, and they're known for having really good customer service. For you guys that are not used to tuning and stuff, I would definitely recommend that when you do the tuning, you do the transmission tuning as well. That is probably going to get you more gains than the horsepower gains that the ECM tuning will do. Transmission tuning on diesel trucks is crucial. So if you're gonna do it right, do the whole shebang, do the ECM tuning, do the transmission tuning, and get the package right. So I'm really excited to get some tuning for this truck, and maybe in the future we'll also be doing some other stuff. I do have some plans for this truck coming up. Some of them are lighting plans, you know, changing a little bit of the fog light setup. Sorry, can't talk. Doing something custom that I'm working on there. I am working with a budget, guys, so some of these things do take time. I also am waiting on a manufacturer to create a harness for something for some lighting that I am doing towards the rear. You guys gotta stay tuned and see when that comes. But other than that, you know, if you guys have any questions about how it's been owning a Sierra for this long, you know, let me know. I honestly don't have a lot of complaints. I'm not a diehard GM guy. If anything, I'm more of a Ford guy or a Toyota guy than a GM guy, but I did fall in love with this specific platform of the LM2 with the 10-speed. So I think now with tuning being available for these trucks, it's the next couple of years is probably going to be a wild west of tunes and deletes and all that stuff coming out for these trucks. So I'm super excited. If you guys waited and held on, good for you. And if you guys were the naysayers saying that tuning was never gonna happen, well, I told you so. It happened. So if If you guys want to see more stuff like this, you know, let me know. Ask any questions that you want. Please like and subscribe. It helps me. It helps the algorithm. As you guys know, if you guys do any type of request, I try to make a video for you guys with whatever you are requesting. My Instagram page is @Carbon Pro _ AT4. I get a lot of requests through there. And that's it, guys. Hope you guys have a good one, and bye-bye. Quick update for you guys. Look, I did that whole 15-minute video for you guys talking about the review, and the mileage is still the fucking same. This is crazy. Like, I don't know why the range, it's almost like it's the range is made for like a gas truck, and it just can't understand that the diesel gets way better range. Let me know if you guys are encountering this exact same issue. Like, I don't, every time I fill up, it's just 100 and odd miles of the range either staying the same or going up. All right, let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you. Bye.